What's the East Asian miracle? In the history of mankind, there has been no other region, neither in Asia nor in the West, that has rapidly transformed from dirt poor to incredibly wealthy within a single generation. Their transformation story has no parallels in history nor in the modern world. Such was their rapid rise that the region was dubbed a miracle. Thus the East Asian miracle. Or specifically, the Northeast Asian miracle. That's because not all nations in East Asia succeeded. The nations in the Southeast Asia fared well only for a few decades before their growth fettered out. Unlike the South, the northern nations, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, and China grew rapidly without a hiccup for no less than 4 decades. The region became rapidly wealthy, all the while never facing any economic downturns. The policies implemented by those countries differed starkly from the ones derived from the mainstream economic theory or the ones implemented by the Global South or Southeast Asia. So, what did Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, and China do that led to the successful transformation of their economies? These nations went from low income to modern industrial economies over 3 decades. The policies broadly can be categorized into these 3 policy mechanisms. First, land reform policy. Second, industrial policy. Third, financial policy. Under the first policy, land reforms were carried out. This ensured radical redistribution of agricultural land to peasants in Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. There were 3 reasons that drove the land reform redistribution policy in the region. First, small-scale household farming gives better farm yields on the land than large-scale collective fields do. Second, the productive surplus from the improvement in farm yields primes the economy for industrialization. Third, rising labor surplus from agriculture, largely unskilled, will be redrawn into manufacturing in the urban regions. Moving to the industrial policy. The state led the industrialization effort in all of the above Northeast Asian countries. It directed entrepreneurs toward manufacturing for exports. The government exercised discipline on the manufacturers using incentive mechanism. It offered subsidies on private investment in industry and also tax rebates and working credit at favorable interest rates in return for export performance. The government also enacted substantial import tariffs on products to protect domestic industry from foreign competition. That move allowed domestic infant industry to grow and acquire manufacturing capability on par with the firms of the industrialized countries. In return, the government expected performance from industry. It terminated subsidies and rebates to failing firms and culled them by forced bankruptcy or merging with successful firms in the industry. To achieve these goals, the state controlled the financial system, the third mechanism. Control of the financial system allowed the government to discipline the private sector under the schemes of its industrial policy. The government directed investment in industry and infrastructure. It pushed their economies toward capital-intensive and technology-intensive manufacturing sectors such as chemicals, metals, shipbuilding, automobile, and electronics. Making large investments in industry and installation of modern manufacturing machinery with the goal of exports was the norm. The government made sure private industry continued technology upgradation until the firms achieved international competitiveness. The end result was that these nations succeeded in their quest to industrialize and shrink the gap with the Western nations in terms of income and wealth. Big questions remained as to what enabled the transformation Northeast Asia. What contributed toward the sustained high growth rates for over 3 decades in Northeast Asia? Barring Taiwan, South Korea, and China, no other country has ever achieved such extraordinary growth rates and sustained them for over 3 decades. Importantly, what was the theoretical underpinning of the causes of super high growth for so long? What were the ultimate causes of such hyperactive jump? The high development theories or the new growth theories of the mainstream economics completely failed to explain the phenomena of high savings rate in Northeast Asia. Take a look at the national income composition of China in current US dollars from 1981 to 2015. The 2 components of national income are net savings and consumption. That was an expansion of Chinese savings in millions of US dollars in 1980s to billions in the 2000s to trillions in the 2010s. Unprecedented in scale and time. The mainstream economic theory should be capable of providing an authoritative answer to the causes of that mind-blowing phenomena, right? But they don't. For a country to make an ever-increasing rate of capital investment each year to drive growth and wealth, its domestic savings need to grow at an ever-increasing rate. How to achieve that? Economists have no clue. Introducing the breakthrough research that finally shows how economic development works. The General Theory of Rapid Economic Development. Get your copy now. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to watch more quality content like this.